Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to another scene from Mage from the Ashes LWoD venue. Nausicaa has, she's been trying to contact Ava for a little while, and having listened to a conversation between her, she is aware that, between her and one of her clones, she is aware that one of them is dead, and Ava has not come back to the Chantry, and eventually she gets a text message saying that Ava is staying in a hotel not too far from Madison 1, which is essentially the location that the clones were at. So Nausicaa will basically just go there, and I guess I need to make a stealth roll. And I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes. So I think I'm okay. And yeah, she will arrive at the hotel. She will have told Ava she's coming, and yeah, she will basically just ask at the front desk for the room she would actually ask Ava what name she's there under, to be honest.
Yeah, she would have been there under her false ID name, or
then she will ask for Helena Zingmark.
Yeah, they will direct you to like a random floor number. Let's say floor number 15, room 15, 157. Yeah, 157. So, yeah.
Yeah, there will be a knock at the door. Knock, knock, knock.
And Ava will, you'll first see like the movement through the peak hole to see who's there, and then door will open, and yeah, it's Ava. Who, as you can see, has obviously darkened her hair somewhat. It clearly looks like it's not been the best job, but her hair is now darker.
Can I come in?
Yeah, she'll open the door far enough so you can walk in.
Are both of you here?
No.
Where's the other one?
She didn't want to be. She's blaming me. She's in the apartment. I locked her in.
That's going to have to change. She can't stay there. It may not be safe.
They went outside.
I know. I heard. Some of it, at least. I'm sorry for your loss. And Nausicaa will come in the apartment.
Yeah, it's like this is a 2-star hotel. So it's nothing fancy. It's just a one room where the bed barely fits in, and there's a small bedroom or bathroom. There's probably like a coffee maker and a water boiler on like a desk.
Why do they leave the apartment?
Because they're like me. Apparently Ivy got curious. She heard a noise outside. On the streets.
Heard a noise outside? They're on the 17th floor.
I don't know. Eve told me that they heard something outside. Ivy wanted to go check it out. Eve tried to talk her out of it, but she went anyway. When they were out on the street, someone recognized Ivy, and yeah, she got scared, tried to run, and The cops shot her.
I wonder what noise they heard.
Look, I don't know. She's blaming me, so naturally she didn't want to tell me much.
Blaming you for what? That incident particularly, or her situation in general?
Both.
Do you think there is any risk that the police may find out she was staying in that apartment?
I doubt that.
Why?
Because she's dead.
You could
They
follow
didn't
security
have
records.
they didn't have anything.
All the same, I'm going to do my best to distance myself from it.
Sure.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Oscar's not going to pay any per se. I doubt you're fine. You've reacted badly to situations like this in the past. You shouldn't blame yourself.
Not. If they were allowed to stay in the country, they would have been fine.
Likely so. You said it was Boris who said they couldn't stay, correct?
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I don't want to see him anymore. Ever again.
Oscar nods. And what about the other one?
She wants to go home to Sweden. To my parents. I'm fine with that, but I'm not quite sure how to pull that off since I now officially died. I really doubt that word wouldn't reach to my parents, to my family.
They're not her parents, you know. She isn't you. She has your memories in your face, but that is a construct of the Technocratic Union. She's her own person, or at least she could be.
Yeah, but it might be safer if she can go back there as me. Might be safer for my parents, and like they wouldn't come looking for me. It's not like I can go back. That way they would still have a daughter, and Eve would have a family that she feels is her family. Everybody happy.
There is a disconnect with that. Firstly, assuming that the Technocratic Union are not watching your parents back in Sweden. Secondly, that your parents, you're correct, would likely have heard about your death and would question her returning.
That I agree to. According to her, I could simply talk to my parents, but I don't really see how a dead person can talk to her parents.
I also agree with this. Her best bet is to. Her best bet is to take a new identity somewhere, even if that is back in Sweden. I'm sure with Tasha's help, we could do that. If Tasha will be willing to help.
You think if she goes back to Sweden, she wouldn't go and visit my parents? I mean, perhaps we can sell it off as a case of mixed identity. At least to my folks.
Perhaps. The truth is, though, she knows the address of the chantry. She knows our names.
I can, at least for now, suppress those memories. But maybe if I grow a bit stronger, I can just get them out of her head. And fill them with memories simply of New York, studying here, making friends, stuff like that.
This seems cruel, however, perhaps less cruel than her living with the truth.
If she wants to live there. She would
And how
not
would you
know.
feel about that? Someone else living with your parents when you were unable to?
It would hurt them less.
It would. I know that I would not be comfortable with it, though. If you would like, I could be able to provide them with something on your behalf.
Something on my behalf, like what?
Money.
No. As far as I know, they don't have any money issues. There's no point in leading more tracks to them. I think this is the easiest, well, the way people would get least hurt. Parents would be happy, she would be happy. I wouldn't have been able to go back anyway. So they wouldn't go looking for me.
If that is what you want to do, I'm sure the rest of us would help you with it.
I think it's the best way to go.
Sure.
How are things?
You need to come back to the chantry.
No.
You may not be safe here.
Don't care.
Well, I do.
Once Eve is gone from that apartment, I can, maybe if you would permit me to, I can stay there. I'm not gonna go back.
You need to resolve this with Boris.
No. No. I don't want to see him ever again.
As much as you may hate him, and I agree, I've never, or rather, Boris has never liked me. But we don't have to like people to work with them. This is a matter of survival. This incident has proved that more than anything.
I'm not gonna work with him. I'm not gonna see him. I'm not gonna talk to him.
You don't have to, but you have to come to the chantry.
No.
It's where you belong with the rest of us.
No.
As much as you may dislike what Bars did, and I agree, it was small-minded and cruel. If it weren't for him, the rest of us would have died in our attempt to rescue you.
I know that. I know that.
His
But
family, Misha, died in the attempt also.
I know that too. Perhaps it would have been better if all of you would have just simply left me there.
It would not have been better. Wallowing in self-pity and anger is letting them win.
I don't care. Then they win. I'm not gonna go back.
But we need you.
You don't.
We do.
And I can still meet with all of you. You can meet here or at work. There are plenty of places where I can help you all out. I don't mind seeing any of you. I don't mind helping out any of you. You're still my friends. But I'm not gonna go back to that place.
If you're not there, you can't be protected.
I'm looking into setting up defenses for myself. Surely there are some that I can do.
I imagine there are, similar to what we have LWoD.
Also looking into hiding my avatar. Which would
Hiding
make
your avatar. I've
I
not
don't
heard of
know.
this.
It's just a theory I'm toying with. So, I mean, how were they able to pick up us from a crowd? How have they been able to spot us? To instantly know what we are? The only thing that differs between us and mortals, well, mortals, you can even call them that, I don't know. But humans, standard humans, sleepers.
Sleepers is the correct term.
Yeah,
We are not immortal, neither are we no longer humans.
true. Well, sleepers then. The only thing that differs is that we have an avatar. If the technocracy has a way of seeing this, a device of some kind. If I can hide my avatar, there is no point why I could not be outside of the chantry and walk around. Like I said, I am still more than willing to help any one of you. I just don't want to come back.
Why? Simply
Because
because of bars?
he murdered her, sending him out here. We all knew that. That's why she was there. She was perfectly safe there. If you didn't want to see her, we could have. If you didn't want to see them, you could have arranged that. But no, he wanted her gone. And immediately. And he kept saying that he would kill them himself. And they didn't have a soul and they were broken toys. And I'm done with him. I'm absolutely done. He even said that if I were to leave with them, that he would kill them and drag me back like a prisoner.
Then we need to discuss this as a group. Although he is in the Chantry, he is not a member of our elected cabal. And you're right. He has no right to rule over us like a tyrant. You are a
Yeah.
member of an apprentice of the Hamitic Order. He has no right to impose his will upon you.
When I said that I was not tied to this place. I could go as I wished. He started to say that he and Tasha, they freed us, they fed us, they put a roof over our head. It's not that I'm not grateful about that. I know that they have more than once, like a countless times, by everything, every little thing that they've done, have protected us and looked over us. I am grateful for that. But this is something that I cannot ignore. And if the only way he can stop me is by threatening to kill, I have so much misjudged him.
He is right that he saved us, but to use it against us is incorrect.
Exactly.
He saved us as much as to deny the technocracy, us, than to save us personally. I have saved other mages. We rescued Julie and some others. I do not hold it over them. I do not believe they owe me anything. It is our duty
Exactly.
as awakened souls to help others who are awakened and deny the enemies of ascension. This is one of the protocols. We should talk with him. As a group, all of
Good
us.
luck.
The other option is well, I believe this is an issue that should be confronted by all of us. I think you should come back.
But I will not. I'm sorry, Nausicaa. I cannot right now. I'm angry. I'm upset. I'm trying very much to put that into something useful. To not go and wallow and lock myself up or anything, but to be busy and to find a way that everything becomes right again. I don't want to go back.
I would ask you that you make me a promise as a friend. You will not close yourself off to the idea permanently. If you do not want to go back now, I respect that. But I ask that if circumstances change or your feelings change, that you would consider it eventually.
I will think about it.
Thank you. You know, Caleb has likely left.
I'm sorry. Has he not returned yet?
No, he is not. And we have heard no word from him.
Well, perhaps he's found his place in the world. Perhaps he did find a group of Yutanatoi.
Perhaps he has. But this does leave us with a problem. The Aegis of our cabal is no longer with us.
Well, you also have some new people. Perhaps one of them.
I was
Function as
thinking
such.
of putting myself forward to the group for their position.
Don't you already have 2 positions? I'm not saying that you wouldn't be a good choice, but I would recommend taking one of the other positions and opening them up for someone else. If you truly want this to be something that is equal for all of them, then
I will put it to a vote. And if necessary, I will step down as the others. I believe the Aegis is important.
I believe so too, and I think you would do a fine job at it.
Regarding monetary issues, as that was, I can't remember what the official title was. I believe I could fill this de facto, if not de jure.
It's up to you all.
No, you're still part of our cabal. You said that. Even if you choose not to stay at the Chantry, You have a duty to the rest of us, and you should involve yourself in the conversation.
I know, but I cannot fulfill my duty. Not at the moment. To guide those who are new in our group? Can't do that from the outside.
That is why I think you should return.
I think Grace would be a good follower.
Grace is one of the new ones.
Yes. So are we still.
Not relative to the others.
Perhaps Julie.
Julie
It
is...
might be good for her to focus her mind on something other than herself.
It may be. But Julie has been surprisingly diligent with her studies.
Yeah. You saw she has a serious side to her. And she's always willing to help others and to be there. So perhaps it would not be such a bad idea.
Perhaps it would not be such a bad idea. However, this position should be held by an experienced member of our group. And alongside me, you were the only one who's experienced a seeking. At least experienced one in past. And alongside me, you are the only that has found themselves a position within one of the traditions.
But when we took these positions, we weren't hermetics yet.
No, we weren't, but it's all relative.
Exactly. Julie isn't that new anymore.
No,
she
but she
has
is...
experienced the seeker and has experienced what it's like to fail one. Which might be a very important lesson to teach to new people, that it's not a bad thing to fail. Something that neither of us would be very good at.
Well, if you are going to officially step down from your position, then I believe the correct thing to do would be to discuss this in a group meeting.
I'm not saying that I would step down.
Good.
I would still be there for advice, but I cannot lead people around the Chantry anymore. I cannot show them the library or portal.
Your words are incorrect. You can. You are choosing not to.
In this case, the outcome is the same.
You're right. It is. The motivation is not.
True.
You should return.
No.
I have had similar issues with people in the Chantry before. I did not choose to leave. Although actually incorrect, I did choose to leave, and you took me back.
Did someone die because of that? Because of the issues that were there? Was a life lost, Nausicaa?
As much as you wish to blame Boris 100% for what happened, that is simply not true.
No, it's also my fault.
And then it is also mine. I was observing them for you, and I did not hear it. We can play the blame game all we want. I had this conversation with James recently. He seems like he has a desperate wish to flagellate himself and blame himself for all his failings. I find it very unproductive.
Ultimately, our actions were a result of Boris refusing to keep them in the Chantry for even the smallest amount of time it would have taken us to relocate them to a place that was safe for them. Our actions would not have mattered if he had refused, if he had simply allowed them to stay.
Boris's actions were short-sighted.
They were the catalyst.
Perhaps also James's were threatening them, so they felt threatened and distrusting of us. Perhaps yours were for taking them there. Perhaps mine were for not observing them closely. But we are all doing this because we don't seek to blame the main person, the main group responsible for the situation with those two and yourself, which is the Technocratic Union. They are responsible for them and for their deaths. They are the people we should be blaming and the people we should be punishing. Instead, we are going to divide ourselves by blaming each other.
I'm not dividing.
And we are going to weaken ourselves and thereby strengthen the Technocratic Union.
I simply don't wish to be around him right now. Because
Then
I am
don't be.
angry. I am not. This is why I'm here.
You can be not around him and at the chantry.
I try to.
How?
I went to the portal room. And guess who showed up?
Tell him you do not wish to talk to him. We will tell him as a group. He's not part of our group, and we will
You
tell
think
him.
that will matter to him?
Then we will all leave as a group and found our own chantry. We will discuss it with Tasha and Lee also. He has no right to impose his will on us in this manner and violate.
I'll see if I can try and find a place to.
If you would like, you could stay at the office. It is already warded.
I might do.
You could set up some kind of hammock in your office. I believe there are several spare.
There are.
We will talk to Boris as a group. And if it comes to it, you can get your matter to talk to him also. You do not owe him an obligation.
I don't wish to involve the Hermetics in this. This is between me and him, not between a group and him or even an order and him.
I quite disagree. This is between. This affects all of us. This is not only affecting you, this is affecting all of us. His decision to send them out also has perhaps put my alternate identity at risk. If the technocrats do link her back to that apartment, that will lead them to Anna Komnene, and it will lead them to Iliada Capital Management, which will in turn lead them to Elijah's laboratory, Grace's foundation, and many other things. This affects all of us, and we should all deal with it.
I could give Eve my alternate identity. Have her stay here if it makes you feel better. I could stay at the office.
I will likely be selling the apartment in Madison. I never really use it anyway. She could stay here, it would be no problem. Or some other place while we sort out arrangements for her. However, if so, I would like some further safeguards that she simply doesn't leave and put herself at risk. And although it seems cold-blooded and mercenary, put the rest of us at risk as well.
Then it's better for her to stay at the apartment because I can lock her in there. This hotel room I cannot. She is locked in now. She asked for it herself.
If she's voluntarily there.
Yes.
However, I wish to disassociate myself with that place. Remove the potential connection. It will not be foolproof, but we can do our best. We have other places around the city that she can stay.
We do?
I do. Do you need anything?
Not particularly. I
Would you
bought a spare set of clothes and I'm fine.
would you like me to bring your possessions to you?
Hmm. It would be nice to have a couple of things.
Then I will. Would you like Paris?
I don't think dogs are allowed in the hotel.
Well, why don't you go stay in one of the apartments I bought?
Mm,
It will be more comfortable than a hotel. Also safer.
I agree, but I will like walk over to the window and look out. Here I can kind of see your apartments.
But it will not be my apartment for long. She will not be there for very long.
Fair enough. When she moves, that is fine. I can go to one of your apartments. But I do wish to stay close.
I could rent a room for you near the place. An apartment rather than a hotel room.
It's hard to get apartments in New York,
Not for
especially
me.
in Manhattan. I know, but you don't need to pay for me. I can
I
do that
do.
myself.
If you would like. You know you have a salary waiting for you. And Iliad?
I know, I'll be back soon. I never thought I could be so angry at someone.
We will discuss it as a group and make a decision as a group. Boris has no right to treat us like that, and I agree. His reckless actions have contributed to what happened. If I speak to him myself, I don't imagine he will listen.
I don't imagine he will listen to anyone.
He will have to listen if it's all of us.
I suppose. I'm sorry, Nausicaa.
Why are you sorry?
For everything that has happened. And I
Everything
understand
that's happened has not been your fault.
my decision to stay here. I understand it affects the group. I understand it affects you.
I am under the assumption that it will be only temporary, until the issue is resolved.
Not quite sure how easily Horus can be resolved, but
If he insists on lording over us like a tyrant, denying us our freedoms and putting us at risk, then we will all leave. And we will form our own chantry. It will not be the same, but he will give us no choice. We will discuss this with Lee and Tasha.
All right. I promise you I'll be only a phone call away. I'll have my phone with me at all times if you need me. All you have to do is send a text.
I would like to go for dinner with you tomorrow. Your friend Nathaniel has contacted me. He has seen the news in the paper and believes you to be dead.
Oh no.
I think it will be good for you to dissuade this concern.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Also, it may help you to realize that the people who care about you do not wish you to leave or close to yourself away.
Don't you think it might be better?
No. And Nausicaa says this with like absolute surety, without any hesitation. I believe it would be remarkably cruel of you if you left.
Not you, but not the people from the Chantry, but others that know me. Perhaps it might be
From
better if for them.
from what I understand, Nathaniel is a member of the Fae.
Yes.
Do you think it would upset him if you left? I think there is a good chance. And that may lead him to become angry as well. A feeling of betrayal. And part of the Hermetic code is do not anger the Fae.
I more meant that I would for him be dead. I'm not sure. But
Why
you,
do you let him make that decision? You didn't like it when Boris has been making a decision for others. You should not make a decision on how much he values your friendship.
but if he thinks I'm dead, then he can just mourn and then move on.
Why?
Might be safer.
Safer. From what I understand, if the Hermetic Code says we should not anger the Fae, there must be a reason for that. I do not believe them incapable.
No, I don't think he's incapable. I would hate to lose him as a friend, but I don't want him to get into trouble over it. You know, you're right. It's just very confusing.
Your problem is you carry a lot of guilt, similar to James, and you find it easier and more comforting to blame yourself and sacrifice things of yourself than inconvenience others. This logic only holds if you do not believe that others would be hurt by you doing such. You believe you are doing good for the people that care about you by hurting yourself or leaving them or abandoning them and lying to them for their own good. I do not believe this to be the case.
I miss my parents.
I also miss mine. One day, perhaps, I would like to meet your parents.
I was thinking if they don't believe I'm dead and if she's living with them, I could perhaps, once a year, perhaps maybe she would take a vacation without telling them. I could take her place and still see them.
Interesting.
What?
I think that could potentially work.
If they think I'm dead, I will surely never see them again. See, I've been doing a lot of thinking about this. Just need to get already ordered a plane ticket for her under false name. I've asked Tasha to set up a, well, you know, a fake ID under that name for her. The only thing now I need to come up with is how to, well, keep her alive and make sure that my parents believe that she's alive as well. Or that I am alive and not dead. Stupid police.
It is likely they were operating under orders, indirectly, or being influenced by the Technocratic Union, and that is why they gunned her down.
She must have been so scared. I can't even imagine.
Again, I disagree. I think you can imagine. And I think that is why it's affecting you so much.
Have you seen the news?
I have.
Like they blurred it out, but you could still see it. It's so strange. Seeing yourself lying there. Being dead.
I think you should take the anger you feel and turn it into a productive use. As
Trying.
much as you wish to blame Boris and yourself for what happened. The truth is, it was not them that did it. It was not them that pulled the trigger.
I know. I know. That's why I'm also staying away. Here I can sort of think clearly most of the time. And I'm afraid if I would be at the Chantry, I would see him. Might just lose control over that anger.
Staying away for a while so you can collect your thoughts. There's no problem with this. But I do believe it would be a mistake for you to decide to permanently leave. We will have a group meeting at Iliad after hours. You can come there.
I shall.
Boris is not welcome. Not that he would come anyway.
No, I don't think he would. Have any of the others said anything about this?
They're worried for you. I discussed it with Grace and Julie.
Tell them I'm fine.
It will do.
Okay.
I would prefer it if you could tell them yourself.
I know. But I'm not going there now. And no matter what you say, I won't change my mind on that.
Oscar just nods. And she'll just kind of go in and sit down on the bed. And she'll actually look in the minibar and pull out one of those like small travel size things of Red Bull.
I will give a grin when she sees that. A small one, but definitely a grin. And she'll take out like an apple juice and sit next to Nausicaa. Blah.
How are your studies going?
Well, not as well as I would like.
Oh, why is this?
Because I'm having some issues with a dead clone and another one who wants to go away from here as fast as possible, and my own feelings. It's difficult to concentrate.
I agree. Feelings can be such a hindrance.
Sometimes they are, yeah. But I can't change who I am.
Yes, you can. You can improve yourself.
Let's just say that no matter how much of a hindrance these emotions can be, I would not want to give up my emotions.
You do not wish to lose your identity. You should have a conversation with James about this. He feels very similar. In fact, I believe it is holding him back even more than you. He believes that if he embraces what he has become, then he will destroy what he was.
Interesting. But I don't know. If he ever wants to talk, well, you know where I am. I trust. I don't mind if you let the others know I'm here.
Sure. I'll just ring down to the desk. And Nausicaa will go over to the phone and ring down to the desk. And yeah, she will basically ask to have a folding bed sent up with bed sheets and stuff, and say that they will pay an extra visitor's fee to upgrade this to a double room.
Wait, what are you doing?
Just kind of looks quizzically. I was going to stay the night here. Is that okay?
Oh. Um. Sure, but you know, this is a double bed. You don't need to.
It's quite all right. Would you prefer room service, or I could go and get other food for us?
Um. Whichever you prefer, I don't mind either. Could go out and eat something.
We could go out and eat something.
Or if you prefer to stay here, that's fine as well.
No, we should go out.
All right.
Suddenly, Nausicaa gains a point of paradox for those words.
Yeah, like I was looking a little surprised there.
We could perhaps meet with the others for dinner somewhere.
Yeah, sure.
Good. And yeah, we'll sort that out and then go out for dinner unless there's anything else.
No, I think we can end the scene there. Thank you, player, for playing, and thank you, watchers, for watching. This was another scene of Living World of Darkness, Mage from the Ashes.